Hello everyone and welcome to Moementum channel and another video of weekly dividend stock portfolio review. In this video, I want to go through my current portfolio that I have both in active investing and passive investing. What's more, we'll review a list of major companies that would announce their quarterly earnings in the coming week and take a look at my worst performing stocks that I've owned in the stock market so far. Lastly, to wrap up the video, we'll take a look at one of the questions that have been submitted by one of the Moementum channel viewers and review that question together. Hope you enjoy this video. Alright, so let's get started by taking a look at my personal account in Wealthsimple Trade, which is an active investing account. Its 1 year return has been a very positive return of 20%. Looking at the 1 month performance, we see a 3.34% return and a 1 day performance of negative 0.58%. Now, as for the tax-free savings account, here we see a 1 year return of 22.24%, a 1 week return of 2.76%, and a 1 day return for the last trading day for this portfolio of about 1% return. Now, let's move on to our registered retired savings plan or RSP account, showing a 1 week return of 2.80%. A 1 month return of about 3% and a 1 year return of over 48% positive. Let's dive into the overall holdings that we have in this account and their total value. So we have 3 shares of AbbVie. You can see we have also 1 share of Foot Locker and 1 share of Skyworks Solutions, which has an impressive return of 15.54%. In the spirit of transparency, you can see all the returns and overall holdings that I have in this account. And I will do the same for the rest of the accounts, both for tax-free savings account and my personal account in this active trading portfolio. All right, as you can see here, for my tax-free savings account, we have 4 shares of AbbVie, a number of shares still remaining from Carnival Cruise Lines, which is showing a negative return of 21.19%, a number of real estate investment trusts here in Canada and their returns you could see on the screen. The one stock that I'm particularly interested in is Twilio. I have 1 share of them and it's showing a return of over 154%. This is one of those stocks that actually is going to have their quarterly earnings report released this coming week. So definitely we'll keep an eye on it. You would also notice that I owned 1 share of Workhorse stock in there, which was showing the positive returns there. Now, let's move on to our personal account and the overall different stocks here we own. We have a total number of 37 stocks here. Air Canada, we own 6 shares of it and it's showing a negative return. Bristol Myers Pharmaceutical Company, we own 4 shares showing a return of almost 30%. Beyond Meat, we have 1 share and it's showing a negative of 11%. Salesforce showing a return of 31%. And Gilead, we also purchased Gilead's share this week and it's showing a return of about 6%. Coca-Cola, we own 1 share showing a return of 3.37%. Pfizer is one of my largest holdings in this account. We have 15 shares of them and it's showing a return of 13.96% at this time. And of course, you own 20 shares of Royal Pharmaceutical showing a return of about negative 5.5%. Teladoc is one of the other stocks here we have. We have 1 share of them and it's showing an almost 25% positive return in there. Vind is another stock we have. We have 2 shares of them and it was showing again a very positive return, close to 21% there. Lastly, we own 1 share of Zoom and it's showing a positive return of 24.86%. This is the overall balance of our accounts in our active trading portfolio with Wealthsimple Trade. Now, before I move any further, I wanted to disclose also my purchases this week in my Wealthsimple Trade account. I bought 1 share of AbbVie at the price of $93.82, 1 share of Jet, which is an airline company, and it's listed in the secondary market in Canada. The reason for purchase of this stock was actually to take advantage of the dollar cost averaging. We made 1 purchase for 1 stock at the price of 99 cents Canadian dollars. We bought 1 share of Gilead Pharmaceutical at the price of $73.99 USD. We bought 1 share of Royalty Pharma at the price of $41.90 to take advantage of dollar cost averaging. We also bought 1 share of Virgin Galactic at the price of $24.47 US dollars. We earned a couple of dividends this month. In fact, we earned $2.70 Canadian for our shares in Bank of Nova Scotia. We also earned 79 cents Canadian dollars for the share that we have with TD Bank. Now moving on and taking a look at our passive investing that we have with Wealthsimple Invest. Here you see the overall balance and the performance and trends of the stock over the past several months, for the past 6 months, 3 months, and 1 month. You can see the volatility and the fluctuation of the stock. So far in August, we've deposited about $30, but I want to also show you the deposits into this account over the past several months. You would notice that since April, I've almost followed the declining trend in terms of how much I deposit into account. This has been a strategic decision, and I want to actually expand on my emergency funds and save some cash on the side to take advantage of any future declines in the stock market. Now, looking ahead and looking at the valuation of different accounts that we have within this portfolio, we have retirement account, tax-free savings account, a social responsible account, as well as a number of old stock accounts. As for the RRSP account, it's showing an annualized simple return of 3.1%. As for the tax-free savings account, it is showing an annualized simple return of 2.6%. Let me also quickly show you how I have continued to deposit funds into my account on a daily basis almost over the past week. You could see we deposit small amounts, but through that financial discipline, maintaining the deposit into account so that I could take advantage of the ups and downs of the stock market and continue to grow my balance in this Wealthsimple Invest passive investing account. For those of you who may not be familiar, Wealthsimple Invest is a robo-advisor that operates here in Canada, but they also offer their services in the UK and the United States. If you're new to investing, Wealthsimple Invest is definitely a tool to consider. I've been using their services for over 3 years and absolutely happy with their offerings. We have a promotion here for the viewers of Moementum channel. You could take advantage of that. There's a link provided in the description. By clicking on that link and actually subscribing to Wealthsimple Invest through that link, you would get an offer of your first $10,000 managed for free through Wealthsimple. That doesn't mean, of course, you have to deposit such a large amount into your account. You can even get started by depositing as low as even $10 to your account and take advantage of their amazing services and build your portfolio over time. This portfolio actually got started from the very humble beginnings from zero, and now within a span of about 3 years, you can see it's grown to a much larger portfolio size. Next, we want to take a look at the earnings report in the coming week and what are some of those major companies that would be reporting their quarterly earnings in the week of August 3rd. On Monday, we have a number of companies listed. You would see Cirrus Logic, Heineken, HSBC, Hyatt Hotels, and of course Virgin Galactic would be reporting their quarterly earnings. On Tuesday, we have major companies such as Beyond Meat, Coca-Cola, Monster Beverage, Walt Disney, Twilio, LivePerson, and Wynn Resorts. Wednesday, we'll have a number of other companies including CVS Health, Etsy, Fastly, Fitbit, Fever, Fossil, Roku, and Wendy's. Thursday, we have Dropbox, Eventbrite, Groupon, GW Pharma, T-Mobile, and VIX reporting their quarterly earnings. And last but not least, on Friday, we'll have Century Casinos, Meridian Biosciences, Playa Hotel and Resorts, and of course, Sabre Corporation reporting on their quarterly earnings. Earlier in the video, I promised that I will talk about my worst performing stocks in the stock market. So for that reason, I'll be sharing the 3 worst performing stocks that I have so far in the stock market. On top of the list in terms of the worst performing stock is Future Pharma Technologies. I talked about it in an earlier video on this channel, but this stock so far has had a return of negative 98% for me. My average price for this stock was at $1.71 Canadian dollars per share, but currently each share is worth only about 4 cents. So it's a terrible negative return of 98%. Next on my list, I have Aurora Cannabis, ticker symbol ACB. I bought this share several years ago and it's showing a return of negative 87%. The current average price for this stock for me sits at $108, but this stock is currently traded at only about 13.65 cents Canadian dollars per share, showing a negative 87% return. And lastly, Boeing is one of my other worst performing stocks, showing a return of negative 52%. My average price per share is sitting at $333 US, but it's currently traded at only about $158 US in the stock market. Lastly, as promised, we want to take a look at one of the inquiries that were submitted to the channel and the response that we provide to this subscriber. This question was submitted by Angelo, and here's what they say. I'm new to Canada and just moved here in March, just in time before the COVID crisis. I've invested in autopilot with just $200 at the moment and chipping every week, now $20. Please advise, is it okay if I continue doing the same, or do I do something different? I'm new to investing, therefore I keep my funds on autopilot. Do you suggest to buy new funds, and how much to put each month? And if I do want to lump sum it, is it better? If you would like also to review my profile, kindly let me know. Thanks, Angelo. As I mentioned to Angelo, do really appreciate the fact that they've been following our channel and asking us questions through the email provided on our YouTube channel. We would definitely be very happy to share our own lessons learned and experiences based on involvement in the stock market in the past. Of course, it's really an advice that we provide as someone who's passionate about stock market, and it's not intended to be replacing as a financial advice, because we are not a financial advisor, nor are we recommending any particular stock to be purchased or sold. So here's the response that we provided to Angelo. First and foremost, welcome to Canada. We're glad to hear that you've started investing with Wealthsimple early on, that you've moved to Canada. As you're new to investing, it is a wise decision to invest through low-cost exchange-traded funds. I'm also glad to hear that you've automated your deposit and are contributing every week to your portfolio. When I first started investing, my portfolio was small, but I contributed to my account every week. Now fast forward 3.5 years later, the portfolio has grown drastically. As you could see by this video, we've been continuing to provide an update on the portfolio every week. So if you're new to Moementum channel, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and stay connected for more weekly updates on our portfolio and other stock investing analysis videos on this channel. I also mentioned to Angelo that if they do have a lump sum amount that they do not need immediately and have already built an emergency fund, the lump sum contribution is a good idea. We've also reminded Angelo to reflect on their risk tolerance and what's their time horizon. And this is a very important factor because if you are a long-term investor and do not need the funds right away, you can actually invest in more of a riskier investment options. Whereas if you need your funds for kind of immediate use, or maybe for a short span of time, let's say in the next 1 to 3 years for a purchase, perhaps a home or car, or to fund the education of your kids, then maybe stock market investing might not be the best avenue for you. So really, your time horizon and risk tolerance plays a huge role in this case. Thanks again, Angelo, for submitting this question and allowing us to share it with our viewers on Moementum channel. There you have it, folks. Another weekly stock market portfolio review here on Moementum channel. On Moementum, we post weekly videos about stock market investing, finances, and personal development. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more such videos. Hope to see you next time.